Yeah, me know. This is Kia Bamba, so we run the whole of Switzerland and the whole of Europe. And we run the whole of etc, etc. You don't know, devil shaman says something, I bat them to the max. And it's like some idiot someone want to stop them from get a piece of the pie. Oh, I'm told disrespect, could go and die. Yeah, me know. Kia Bamba, them have dubs, we play fast, I play slow, them have flows, like nobody knows.
Welcome to Only Friends on a Power Day, your one-stop spot for all things snow, mountain and travel. Get all you need to know about epic destinations, inspiring stories from local legends around the globe, as well as creators, entrepreneurs, brands, owners and more. We are here to talk about what's hot, what's changing the game and what's incoming. Come along for the ride, froth out, and let's have fun doing it. So today we have a very special takeover episode with my much better half, the wonderful Elyshia Toner, and a much better half of a close friend of mine, Kate.
Hello.
How are you, Kate?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. So this episode is all about a bit of a mum's takeover. And, you know, these two wonderful ladies don't need any help talking, speaking, blurting, talking about themselves, children, life in the snow, or pretty much anything else in that matter. So on that note, I'm going to peace out, grab my cat, and leave the ladies to it with you.
You can leave the cat here if you want. She doesn't eat my hair.
All right. Well, gosh, hot seat. Here I am. So the idea behind this was in the idea that Kate and I have been friends for, I'm not going to say because it will give away, for a long time. Both ex-seasonaires have lived in the snow, now take our children to the snow. We live in the snow retirement village of Torquay, as it's fondly known, where people come to not die but thrive from full-time snow life and reproduce and all of those sorts of things. But expanding our network through our children going to school and daycare and all of those sorts of things, and we come across a lot of people that are not quite as deeply integrated in the snow world as we are, that are like, I want to go to the snow. I cannot imagine where to even begin. How do you do it? And you don't really want to terrify them with lots of wine and just fucking managing. So we thought we would get together, and I was like, who better than Kate to come and chat with me, because we've both done a lot of seasons. We both have two little ones, and we maybe insanely continue to take those humans up to the snow and show them what we love and how we met our husbands and live the life that we live now. So Kate's background is founder of Retreat Yourself, so wellness and fabulous boxes of wellness, but also living down here now and two kids, as I said, and we're all going up to the snow. So I sort of thought, rather than just hearing me waffle on or Oz and I waffle on, sorry, our cat is running around the front of the podcast right now eating something she shouldn't be. At least it's not a child. So we thought we'd get together and share some tips and tricks and just expectation of traveling to the snow with little ones. And right on brand, we are doing this after all of our children are in bed. Cheers. Because how else do you do it with children? So where to start? I guess a bit about yourself from you, just put you on the spot.
Okay. So I'm Kate, obviously. I own a business called Retreat Yourself. It's a health and wellness gift and subscription box business. We operate out of Torquay, and it's awesome, all consuming. I have two beautiful young children. I have Charlie, who's 4, and Frankie, who's 1. He's a little tornado.
Second children, no one.
Oh yeah, they're a breed of their own, those ones. Pre-owning the business that I run, which is almost 10 years, I was a professional traveller and seasonaire, as you like to call it. I'm from New Zealand, which you probably just heard when I said seasonaire. And did a bunch of seasons, met Andrew, my husband, in the snow, and then moved to Torquay, which, like you said, is where all the snow people end up. I think it's just like the beautiful vibe of the surfy town and being relatively near the cat still running around. Hey, pina colada. So that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
So, friends for a long time. So we thought we'd bring to you some tips, tricks, expectations, and just inspiration, motivation, and confidence to drag your little people up to
Little
the
humans.
snow. So
Yes.
you've heard my long-winded story with Austin in prior episodes, but we have a 6 going on 7-year-old that has pretty much skied since she could walk. We were just actually reflecting earlier on how I may have, prevail, it's okay, fabricated her age for her to be able to ski in Australia because she could ski before she was allowed on into ski school in Australia. And a recently, as of Monday, 3-year-old who we have not let near the snow because we're not ready for that. But that is approaching quickly. So I guess we're just going to let this flow naturally. But I've got some questions for you and about your experiences. I have standard, true to form me, a brain dump of all of the little things that I can impart on you through trials, tribulations, and learnings of taking these people to the snow. But I think the biggest takeaway from it is once you get there, it is fab. And for them to see, I guess in our case, how we met our partners and how our whole friendship circle has populated really, it's amazing for them to experience that. And I think in most places in Australia, because I've had a lot of staff over the years that are like, is there snow in Australia? It is obviously not common to go up there all of the time, but for them to experience that and see and be a part of it and build resilience, I guess, and those sorts of things is really powerful and invaluable. And I guess we want I certainly do, I'm sure you do too, want our kids to grow up doing hard things and difficult things, but the journey can be difficult, but getting up there and the experiences they have are like,
it's so rewarding. Yeah.
Amazing. Like some really beautiful memories, and it's really lovely.
It's amazing. It really is.
Yep. So I guess we've both done a lot of seasons we've talked about, but this is more about sharing information. I guess for you, I've just got some questions here because otherwise my brain will go crazy. When and how, like Charlie and like when did you introduce that to your kids?
So Charlie was 1 when we first took him to the snow. We took him to opening weekend at Hotham. He was actually really sick. We probably shouldn't have taken him with us, so he wasn't very happy that weekend. Resilience, yeah. But we were so excited to take our kid to the snow for the first time. Prior to that, the year prior to that was COVID, so we couldn't. And Frankie, she was maybe 2 months when we took her up to Bulla. So I just held her in like a little front pack, and it was so awesome. So yeah, they were both little. Frankie's probably like Jossie, just like an absolute tornado. So I'm like, I know she'll just get out there and do it. Whereas Charlie was interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
And rather difficult. Actually, he was all right at the start, like his first kind of 2 years, and then turned 2, and it was like impossible.
Because they developed that personality.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I guess in the nature of freestyling and experiences and etc., what, like off the top of your head, what would you share with people not as, I guess, integrated in the snow world as us? Maybe going to the snow for the first time with their kids, maybe first time ever, but maybe they've gone before and now they're going with kids. We're going to assume for argument's sake at the moment we're talking to Australia, but I guess anyone anywhere around the world that's listening or watching, thank you. Like be prepared. Like what's your like takeaway from your experience?
So I think like the biggest thing for me is like have no expectations. You can't like having kids going to the snow, it was like, cool, I'm going to like chuck my stuff in a bag. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to go snowboarding and I'm going to be able to do whatever I want whenever I want. And having kids, like they're real uncontrollable. You could be like, we're going to have the best time. It's going to be magical. It's probably not, to be honest. Like little kids don't necessarily love the snow. Charlie was a nightmare for a little while. We couldn't even get him out of the lodge and get him in his snow gear for like a couple of years of going up there. And we just had to go and like allow that to be. Like you can't force them to put the snow gear on because they're not going to like it. You have to kind of just roll with it, I think is like the biggest part like that I've taken away. And it's like any travel with a kid, I think you just have to roll with what's happening and not try and force them to do anything. That's the biggest thing that I've learned. Press it again. Press it again.
I pressed it before.
It's meant to be green. Press it one more time, I reckon. Oh, it's orange. Hold it down.
I reckon I'll just change the colours. It's like because I pressed it. Oh, there we
go.
We're green.
Yeah.
All right.
How long's it been orange for?
As well. No, I accidentally just pressed it before and I tried to move it. So I think I just did that. You keep talking and then okay, we're good.
Are we looking at the camera or are we looking at each other? Because I'm like,
I reckon let's just do a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have any tips on that while we're going to cut this bit out? Do you reckon did you both? Or I guess we just talk to each other, right?
Tips on that. I never had a camera back then.
Okay.
It was
Let's
like,
talk to each other then.
yeah.
Like,
I kind of think like if you think about like if somebody, I guess you're putting this on YouTube, hey, like if you think about like shorts for Instagram or like reels,
talking to each
it would
other.
just be talking to each
Yeah.
other.
Okay. Let's do that.
I don't think,
We're in a short way in, so.
I find it easier to just talk to you than I do, like,
Same. Yeah, so I'm always like, what am I
I
doing?
Yeah.
We'll keep rolling. Cool. So we can cut that whole part out.
All right, I kind of want the cat part in.
Yeah, we're gonna leave the cat in. That was good. There's gonna be some funny like outtakes from it, like
the fucking cat out.
like so I was like, here's the cat.
I heard the door creak open and I'm like, oh fuck, the cat's here.
It's not a kid, it's a cat. But, all right. So recenter. I'm gonna come back to that. So yeah, I think you're 100% right. Is like you cannot have expectations. Wildebeests of their own choosing, and whatever you want them to do, they smell that and they will do the polar opposite.
Apparently, yeah. You cannot. I feel like the minute you have an expectation or you think it's going to go a particular way, it's not going to go that way.
Yeah. So you've just got to leave it. Whatever you're hoping and wishing for, just hope to get to the snow and be there and let everything else go. Yeah. And just be like, we went to the snow.
Yeah.
Maybe it was awful. Maybe it was terrible. Maybe no one had a good time, but you went and you will go back because you did it.
And I think as well, like, appreciating the like little things, like maybe the kid, like, or your kid went outside and like picked up a snowball and like threw it in the air and you're like, oh, like that's something to like be appreciated.
Yes.
I'm making it sound horrible. It's not horrible, but
it is. It's
yeah.
Little glimmer moments.
The little moments. Yeah.
And you've got a memory and you've got something they can look back and they'll be so stoked when they're old enough to actually understand that they went and did that. Because I was the same. Like we lived obviously in Japan when like I went back to Japan when Mahalia was 3 weeks old, which is wild when I think about that.
Yeah.
She pretty much grew up there until she was 5. And then Jossie did 2 winters there and has been back here and has not been to the snow up there, but she's been to fall, same thing when she's like a matter of weeks old, just in the carrier and just, I was just like, I'm not snowboarding this trip. I'm just walking around with the baby strapped to my chest doing apres because that's my reality right now. And that was okay. But that was, I think we both have some stories to share. And I think I will impart my first fabulous one of letting go of expectations. And that is, we'll get to later, packing and being prepared after we get through the trauma unpacking. But my thought process was as we all do with a 3.5-year-old is I need them fed. Because we're about to drive 45 minutes. Our home mountain is Falls Creek, as you know, or whether it be Hoffen, any mountain in Australia, doing some sort of windy drive. Falls and Hotham seem to be the worst.
Falls,
and I
definitely.
thought she needs like, because otherwise she's just going to start at me, like, you know, halfway up the hill. And so, you know, we were down in Beauty, and as you do, I gave her a bluey chocolate milk and a banana.
That's the worst idea ever. Yeah, do not do that.
I learned very quickly that, one, I was thankful to some sort of higher being that we were in Austin's leather-seated car, because that was a great start. Second, that we had an infant, like a very little infant that would sleep through, I don't know, a plane crashing, anything. Slept and unfortunately had a child that had never vomited to her knowledge before.
Oh.
So I looked back at her and saw her turning green, and I was like, honey, I think you're going to be sick. And she didn't know what the feeling was. And I was like, stick bag, and then that freaked her out. And she was like, no. And I was like, honey, I think you'll be sick. And then I like second guessed myself and went and sat next to her, which was
worst idea ever.
Great. Sat next to her, and she proceeded to share her banana and blue chocolate milk with all of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other thing I was thankful for was all of the wipes that we had.
Yes.
Thanks to said small infant. So we were literally like a kilometre out of Bogong. So we stopped, we pulled over, we used, I think, all of the wipes. Took the infant out in the capsule and put her outside. She did not wake up. And then we wiped everything down. I think packaged up the vom clothes and put them in a bag and drove up the hill, and were thankfully staying with a friend that had a washing machine.
I'm impressed you actually kept the clothes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming I didn't pack enough. So
Yeah. You're like, need to keep these.
But my tip off the back of that is no bluey chocolate milk and bananas before you drive up the hill.
No.
Quelts. 30 minutes before, that was one that I was taught by a good friend, was like age appropriate, obviously dosage of kids' quells, 30 minutes before you start the ascent.
Great, good to know.
Yeah, dose because from now on, like you want to be sure of not getting that again. Absolutely, do not go to the On Hill supermarket and buy the neutral car spray that smells like that reminiscent memory of
vomit.
Spray that covers up vomit smell, because that's what our car smelled like after that.
Charlie had a similar incident on the way up to Falls. Gave him a toasty in Bright. Well, we're in Bright, and then drove up to Falls from there, and spewed everywhere. It was horrendous. We threw his clothes in the bin. They can't tell you when they're
they don't know.
Yeah, they have no idea.
What that feeling is. They're just like, I don't feel good.
It's so bad. So no food before windy roads. Food in the car, great. Not before a windy road.
No. And distract them. Like that's another tip that I have is iPads. Obviously, like if you're traveling, most people are traveling several hours. I don't mean, maybe you're not a screen time parent. If you're not, find your weapon of choice. Mine is 100% screen time.
Yeah.
Ads.
So we're not against screens, like our kids watch TV, but they haven't had an iPad yet, and they're still fine. Like we just take activities in the car. So I'm like, there's some toys. Actually, Frankie's a bit harder because so we went to Hotham at opening weekend, just been, and it snowed heaps. The Bright to Hotham Road got closed and we had to drive back via Omeo, like the long way. It took 9.5 hours to get home with a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old in the car. And so the whole way from Hotham down to like Omeo was so slow because Charlie was feeling sick the whole time. But I'm just like tossing toys back. So like I feel like you can kind of do it either way. I'm not anti-screens, but I'm also like our kids need to learn to be resilient in that.
I think I made my own bed. I think with the whole
once I've had it once
from Japan.
Yes.
But also like that, my kids know that they do not have or own iPads.
Yes.
We have iPads. iPads are for extended travel.
Yeah.
So when my daughter's like, what can I do on the way to Geelong? I'm like, you can look out the window.
Yeah.
That's what we can do. It's 20 minutes.
Yeah. You see that thing over there?
Whereas if we're driving 5 hours to Falls or we're flying 10 hours to Japan or whatever, sure, you can have a screen.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you are a screen person, buy 100% download to Netflix, Disney, your Poison Choice, whatever. Have it downloaded for the car because I'll always say, I'll let you. Yeah. Another hot tip on that is if you are an iPad parent is check the connection to your iPad.
Yes.
Because we have iPads and phones that obviously vary now from Lightning to USB-C. Headphones obviously vary as well. You want an iPad that dies, you need to show. You also don't want to hear their iPad.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Get on Amazon or wherever you need and buy a dual connector that allows you to charge and then listen at the same time. You thank yourself later for that. But ours, we just download whatever's appropriate, Bluey, all of the things, just something to keep them entertained. Mahali is old enough now that we'll put some games, not the educational ones on there, but just something to keep them busy. My kids have got enough an age gap that they will fight otherwise over activities. If they've got an iPad, something age appropriate viewing, and we're just like, this is for the drive, that's it. Yeah.
I feel like it's just like having like an arsenal of multiple things. Like iPad, like sometimes I do give Charlie my phone, but like iPad, books, games, whatever, like anything, snacks, absolutely.
All of the snacks.
All the snacks.
I think that's the theme of this entire thing is
snacks.
You, like just always snacks in their pocket, snacks in your pocket, snacks in bags.
Yeah,
cold
everywhere.
Snacks, hot snacks, snacks. Have a car full. Woolies bags full of snacks. Give them like a lunchbox, but then have like secret snacks for when they get sick of those snacks.
Yeah, 100%. You need every kind of snack you can possibly imagine.
Otherwise, you're buying like $17 sausage rolls that they won't eat.
And also, like, you don't want to stop. Well, like, you obviously have to stop, every couple of hours or whatever, because you might need to go to the toilet or like just get out of the car and have like a change of scenery. Having snacks means you don't have to continually like stop to buy more food or And also like I like to have snacks on a road trip anyway.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, I get lollies, and they're like half sugar, natural confectionery co or whatever, and you're like, yes, you got lollies, or like just anything.
The fun day lollies, then zero sugar,
whatever they think they've got. They're just like they've got something to put in their face and keep them occupied, and like drawing like young kids, the whiteboard ones where they can wipe it off. Old kids, like just any sort of activity.
I think it's age appropriate too. Like I've got 2 little kids. I've got a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
So what I do for my kids might be different to you. Like Charlie, he's 4, bless him, but we'll play hide and seek in the car and I hide behind my headrest and I'm like, do you reckon you can find me? He's like, Mum, where are you? I'm like, where am I? And he's like, oh, I think I can see you.
Yes.
This honestly could go on for half an hour. So if you got little kids, you can play hide and seek in the
Well,
car.
that's great because when we play I Spy, it's like I can't see out the window.
We play I Spy. I'll be like, I Spy with my little eye, something beginning with cloud. And he's like, cloud. I'm like, yeah, you got it.
We start fighting over whether it was a cow or a horse. I'm like, that's the difference between my kids' ages. It's an animal with 4 legs
Course
lives in a paddock. Does it matter what it was? It could be a pig.
Yeah.
We don't know. It doesn't matter.
Sure. A unicorn.
It was an animal. But yeah, I think like the takeaway is like on the journey, be triple prepared. But
Yeah.
you think you need, have 3 times that.
Absolutely.
Have
Yeah.
water. If your child is recently toilet trained, have a potty.
Yeah.
Because you don't know when you're going to find another toilet.
Yeah.
Or if you're like my 6-year-old, may not like that toilet. Might not be another toilet for 25 kilometres, but doesn't want to go to that toilet and won't do a bush squat. So you're like, what do you do?
I think, like, again, like we were talking about before, you need to just be prepared for anything. My 1-year-old Frankie sometimes gets a bit constipated, and in the car up to Hotham recently, I could see her squeezing in the back seat. I'm like, she's trying to do a poo, but I know it's not coming out.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, she's not going to do it in a car seat. I can just tell it. This has been going on for like 20 minutes. She's like purple in the face, trying to squeeze it out. The poor little love. So I'm like, Andrew, pull over. I pulled onto a side street, and I'm like, get her out of her seat. And I'm holding her. And I'm like, come on, like rubbing her back. She does a poo in her nappy. Andrew like piffs it out into the paddock next door. But anyway, it's like,
what you got to do? Yeah. So you got to be prepared for that. So a 5-hour drive, expect it to take 7.
Yeah.
Just be ready for that. Maybe it won't, but just be ready for that.
And you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And just like, just be whatever you think could happen. I think medicine's a great one, or just anything that you need. If you're in nappies or wipes, whatever, and they're specific about what they want, like have those because you might not get them up there. And like medicine, don't expect that you can get it. Just have it, have travel sizes of everything. Even if you're like, it's probably not going to happen, take it with you. Have it there. Just have that like confidence that you've got it for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Water, just everything that you can think of that you might need. You're like, maybe I won't. You do.
You do.
You will need
you will need, if you don't take it, you're going to need it.
You will need that.
Yeah.
Yes. And as soon as you get to a remote area, you won't find the specific things that you need in a shop or whatever, and they'll be way more expensive.
I feel like, always, like you said before, like always taking Panadol or something, I feel like every single time I've gone to the snow, one of my kids has had a temperature. I don't know why. It's just winter time. Yeah, there's bugs. Like they go to daycare, whatever. Yeah,
I think so. I'm just trying to think of what else, like other tips. I think like the journey is just like, and pre-pack. Like, don't do it on the day. Like think about like, we're all like, you and I are list makers and prepared people, but like don't wing it. Like think about what do they need, think about it over a few days. Don't just think about what they need. What do you need? How long are you going for? Be prepared that if you go for 48 hours, you need the same amount of crap as you need for a week or 2 or 3. You need changes of clothes. You need all of the same things. Have it organized, have it in easy to carry luggage as well. I think it's the thing. Any mountain that you go to, you're carrying shit somewhere.
Yes. I feel like, so for me, for packing, I put a list in the notes of my phone and I put the checklist, I make it into a checklist and I break it down by person. So I'm like, do you do the same thing?
I just do kids, but then it's like in order of like each child in their shed. But yes.
So I do Charlie, me, and then I don't really do Andrew, so he can do his own. But and then I do everyone or like whatever. So it's like might be like Frankie's bibs or whatever. And then I tick it off. But this is how my brain works. This is what works for me. And I've always been a last minute packer, a last minute do everything.
If you've got the list, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Just be prepared.
But everything takes like like I said before, kids are uncontrollable. So like if you pack the night before or start packing a few days before and then the morning of you expect to leave at 9 but you haven't packed. Like, you're not going to leave till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Even if you have packed, you're not leaving for 2 hours after you thought you were going to leave. You're just not.
And then on the way home, I feel like one of our friends, Zoe, who's a seasonaire as well, she always said, when you get home, no matter how tired you are, no matter what time of night it is, always unpack your bags and put a load of washing on. And it honestly makes a world of difference. You might get home late on a Sunday night, have to work on a Monday morning, and there's a load of washing on and your stuff's out of your bags and like makes such a difference.
Yes, 100%. I totally agree with that. I'm like, Austin's like a leave for several days and I'm just like, no, just get it out, get the bags away or just at least piled somewhere and you can see what you've got and what you need to deal with and you're like, okay, I know where things are, we're good.
Something that I do when we're when we're away, and I actually do it on all of our travel and trips, is have a bag dedicated to dirty clothing. So you can literally go, this goes straight into the wash.
Yep.
This one comes out and we sort it out into piles for like each person's room.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a good. My go-to is like we were like generally my girls will share a suitcase and I'll have one and Oz will have one. But the minute I same thing as I get home is like there's just a generic dirty pile and I'll sort like kids' piles, my pile, and if they don't go away, it's fine. But like that's the dirty pile
Yeah.
and that needs to be dealt with and straight into the washing machine. And
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, it kind of like lessens the load of like, okay, we're good. That just needs to go away. That needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And I feel like when you get back from the snow, you're exhausted. Like it's been a big weekend, big weekend of travel, like and even just being like in the snow, like everything feels harder when you're up there. So you get home and you're tired. You kind of just want to be able to quickly like chuck things in the washing machine and go about
because you're back to normal life. So it's just like you've got to get into that.
Yeah.
And I was actually just thinking about like going up to the snow and the things, and I was like having a flashback to working up at Falls, and you do like everyone judges, but you back then I was like, people would come up and they'd be super organized, and I loved that. And I worked in rentals, great, but then you'd see the people coming up with eskies, and I'd just be like, righto, mate. I get that.
You're like, I'm an esky girl now.
I'm not yet. I'm a insulated woolies bag girl, but we will get there. But I get it. Like you look at the signs of like Food Works at Falls, or like Hotham's even smaller. Like the general store, like it's tiny, and you get up there, and you're like, my kids are picky.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't want that sausage. They want the sausage they're used to eating, or pasta, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's like you go up school holidays or at a busy time, everyone's up there. It's a small supermarket. There's not the things you need there. So you like it's cheaper, and you want guaranteed what you want. So you take it up. So I think that's a hot tip, is like depending on what facilities you have where you're staying, and that is if you can cook or you can't cook, like bring things based on that, because you will not regret it.
Yeah.
Whether it be snacks or whatever, you're not having to, and the supermarket's never close to where you're staying. It's always a walk in snow most of the time. So.
We generally always depending on where we're staying, but we try to take enough for like breakfast. So we've got like breakfast sorted. So like avocado, it might be bread, we might take muesli. So breakfast is always like sorted. We don't have to go out and find food anywhere. And we try to take like a meal depending on where we're staying. But typically where we're staying, we'll have a kitchen. Yeah. We'll take like the first night's meal. We might take a whole bunch of veggies and like some pasta or whatever, because it's a mission. It's way more expensive than it normally is. And it's just good to be prepared when you have kids.
Yeah, definitely. I think like getting up there and being like, oh my God, they need a specific snack and they don't have it or whatever. It's just, it's not what you want to be dealing with on top of everything else. And I think on that, another good tip is like, I think about everywhere I've been. I mean, I haven't been to every snow resort, but like Perish are usually not on the mountain, but even Gindy's hectic these days. Thredbo, Bulla, like Hotham Falls is if you're going to dinner, I assume we definitely go early when we take our kids out, because it's hectic. It's a lot. My kids currently go to bed sort of 7:30 a day on snow. Dial that back 2 hours, they're cooked kind of thing. We book, and it's just like, where are we going? You don't. I've always been the sort of person like, let's go with the vibe. You can't go with the vibe with kids. So it's like however many days you're up there, be like, how many days are we eating at home if you've got cooking facilities or whatever, but when are we going to go out? And book ahead. Book so that other people are not inflicted with your offspring after a day on the snow, but also so you're not dealing with worrying about that and worrying about them, because it does get busy. It does get booked out, and the last thing you want is after a long day on the snow trying to figure out where you're going to go to dinner. And not being able to do it. And I think there's like a lot of options, but being prepared and being booked is
I think
key.
like you said, dealing with kids that have been like on the snow all day, out in the snow, they're tired, they're hungry. Like you want to plan for where you go.
You know what's coming kind of thing. You're like, okay, we've just do enough snacks to get through to this time kind of thing is like definitely a massive thing. I think by the same token is babysitting or childcare. Like I obviously know Falls intimately, not the other mountains so much, but I imagine it would be exactly the same. Is people book out, like there's Facebook pages at Falls for babysitting services. Childcare up there is almost next to impossible to get into unless you're like 6 months. Like they do take in like tourists, but you've got to be so massively organized. But if you want a babysitter, you want a night out, which you're there for a week, you probably do. You probably
Yeah.
want to just have a child-free
Yeah.
few bevies after they've gone to sleep. Is like book ahead. There's heaps of people like ski instructors. Like there's so many people on the hill that are usually experienced in looking after kids, but lock them in. Like
Yes,
that.
definitely.
If you know that you want that, just pick a night and roll with it and just lock it in. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, definitely. We went to Falls one time and wanted to find a babysitter and left it too late and couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't find.
Because it's like everyone's just fighting over the same people, whatever it may be.
Exactly. So,
yes. Anything else I'm trying to think of, like we've done food, we've done the travel.
I think like the biggest thing for us, like the biggest battle with Charlie, Frankie's still so young, was his gear. And I think like a really important thing, like if you're taking children up there that haven't been to the snow, they're probably not used to wearing big jackets, gloves, beanies, goggles, and they're probably not going to want to wear them. Like
but that was on my brain dump actually, is practice.
Yeah,
Get them used to it.
Yeah. So we used to leave like gloves. We had all of our snow stuff: gloves, goggles, beanies. He wore beanies anyway, but gloves, goggles, and boots in the lounge. And we had a little Burton Riglet board, so we could pull them along. And we left them in the lounge so he could play. I actually got that tip from one of our good friends, Lani, and it helped. But he still hated it. Like he was okay like when he was 1, and he was little, but then when he turned, well, he was still little when he was 2, but when he turned 2, he was like flat out no gear, huge tantrums. Like you could not get his gear on him, which like we had to roll with, as you do all things when you go to the snow. But be prepared, depending on the age of your kid, that they might not want to put their snow gear on. Like wearing big, thick gloves on your hands is like a foreign thing for most kids.
Like, like even as an adult, like they're not comfortable.
No, they're not.
Thick.
And
they're
also
weird.
I remember when I was really young and learning how to ski, I remember hating it. I was like hot and sweaty and like covered in clothing.
Yeah, when you're indoors.
Yeah.
But then when you go outside, you're freezing. But kids don't have that, like, they don't understand how to separate that understanding.
Yeah.
I am really hot right now, but the minute we go out there, I'm going to be freezing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely like be prepared for wearing snow gear. I think like, if you've got snow gear, leave it out, get them to try it on before you go, get them excited, talk about it. And when you're up there, just expect that sometimes they might not want to wear it.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, I'm also a big, like with Charlie, trying to get his like suit on, wouldn't put it on at all. So we had to go really slowly because we were like, we want him to like the snow. We don't want to have any negative association with going to the snow. So like pinning him down and putting his snow gear on was not an option for us.
Yeah.
It was like, we'll just do it as he's comfortable in doing it. But
But I think the biggest thing is for me is like prep. So whatever, as a parent, whatever your prep methods are, we all have different ones for our kids. Like I think about taking Mahalia up took her to Queensland and like to the Gold Coast for a friend of ours, like for Nikki's 40th. And we just showed her lots of videos of like Dream World and stuff. And it was the game changer of her understanding what to expect when she got there. And I think like I don't have that experience with the snow yet with her because she grew up in it. Whereas for Jossie, I probably need to do that. Mind you, she's the second lunatic child, so she'll just adapt. But but like just prepping them with what to expect and those. But like Mahalia, even growing up in the snow, she had days where she's just like, I'm not wearing boots. It's like, well, mate, it's the snow. Sorry. But
kids of that age are like Charlie still not so much now, but like kids of that age, like sometimes they don't even want to wear shoes. Like it's but when you're at the snow and you're like, paid a lot of money to be here. Yeah. Like, let's get outside. You kind of got to go at their pace. And just surrender to the whole process.
Yeah. But I think prepping, like giving them an idea so it's not a shock. It's like, okay, like what is this weird jacket that you're now showing me that we're up here? It's like they know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I think just like one thing where budget comes in, where you do like snow is expensive, particularly in Australia, but I mean anywhere in the world, but especially taking kids, like lift tickets, lessons, like ski school, clothing. I think you can get away with like subpar stuff as an adult, knowing that you know your own body, if that's what you need to do budget wise, like whatever it takes you to get to the snow. But I think kids are a whole different being where I think it's definitely wise to invest in, like, it doesn't have to be Arc'teryx, but like something affordable, but like merino or whatever it may be, like good layers appropriate for their age. Like both my kids have been onesies younger. Mahalia will probably like move into bibs and jackets now that she's old enough, but something that they're warm enough, it's easy for them to put on and off to go to the toilet. They're layered and they're warm, but then like multiples, like gloves and mitts. Like, you
Yeah.
think about, like, they get wet.
Yeah.
They like to play with snow when they finally get into it. They like to touch it and feel it. And it's like, you cannot guarantee. Like, they might be wet halfway through the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to deal with that. Or, you know, if you're like, even if they are toilet trained ski school, there's accidents happen and things like that. They might not be able to wear that tomorrow. So what are you going to do, kind of thing? And I think just investing in those sorts of things. And you can rent, obviously, a lot of like outerwear and stuff, but I think the stuff that they wear underneath, it's worthwhile.
Definitely.
And just little, like, you know, again, we've been really fortunate to obviously have connections within the ski industry, but I think about Mahalia and just like you said, like, just goggles. Like, you know, I went to Dragon and got some with, they had ice creams on it. It's just something where it's like
Where it's
takes
fun.
away from it's this weird thing on their face to it's fun, it's her vibe, it's kind of contributes to her wanting to participate in wearing said thing. Japan, we bought her a pink helmet because she loved pink, and you just whatever it is to like lessen the battle of them wearing that particular item. Like, I think helmet's compulsory now in lessons, etc. Like, whatever makes that easier. That's one less thing you have to fight about.
Definitely. And I think as well, like, I mean, this isn't specifically talking about clothes, but like for us with Charlie, like we have been like, we haven't forced him like for the last few years. Now that he really likes snowboarding, like this last year, he's really liked snowboarding. We haven't had to force him. Like, he wants to put his goggles on now.
Yeah.
But like prior to that, we're like, okay, if it's not like blowing a gale, it's not snowing outside, he probably doesn't need goggles if we're going to go out for half an hour. But he learns to have fun in the snow. And then he's like, oh, okay, I get cold. So it's like a little bit of like allowing a bit of like natural consequence when they're of age, so that they're like, and then he's like, you know, he learns like, okay, I like the snow, but everyone's putting their goggles on, so I need to put my goggles on too. Obviously, it's an age appropriate thing. You're not going to teach that to a 2-year-old, but like, yeah, do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, because I was just thinking about my like youngest, like very spirited one. Like, it's sometimes, and I'm thinking about people that rent as well, which I certainly still do with my kids, being that like they grow so rapidly that it's insane to buy them clothing. I buy their own helmets and stuff, but like ski gear and boots and everything like that. It's like, I think about Jossie at swimming lessons, and it's like us trying to get goggles on her. Not a chance. Instructor just puts them over her face and off she goes.
It's so annoying.
Like,
it's infuriating.
Like, literally text me from swimming being like, it wasn't even a thing. She just put them on her and she was like, okay, I'm wearing goggles, and off she went. We've tried to do it. She's like, no,
absolutely not.
Don't want those. But I think it's kind of the same if you're like, if they're skiing, I mean, skiing, snowboarding, either way. I mean, ski boots are obviously aggressive for a kid compared to snowboard boots, but even still, like, they're foreign and weird feeling is get your rentals the day before. Get them the day before. Get them to just look at them, touch them, feel them. They're weird. They're different to normal things. If you're getting rentals, get some like fabulous human that's not you.
Yes.
To fit them and get them walking around the shop. Because if you do it, they're not going to.
No.
Some lovely seasonaire is just like, they are great. They'll wear them and they'll froth on them and they'll go home and might want to put them on and try them on, but like, get them comfortable, because you try and put ski boots on a kid before a lesson. That's another thing that was a part of my brain dump is, if you are putting your kids in lessons, my 2 like key takeaways are, don't book days of lessons.
Oh yeah. No.
I don't know. I really don't care how well you know your child. Book a half to 1 day lesson before you book anything else. See how it goes, because anything can happen.
Exactly.
And you've spent a lot of money to get back in snow credits or whatever the mountains kind of currency is to like forfeit the rest of them. It's a lot of money these days. So be sure that they want to do it. They're going to do it, but not that you're just paying for them to just go up there and sit inside. Like, are they going to do it? So I think that's number one.
Charlie's never been in a lesson before, but I remember being a kid and being put in lessons and absolutely hating it.
Yeah.
Hated it. Like, and so like, even if your kid likes being in the snow and like, you know, they're an easygoing kid, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to like lessons. So you might be pouring your money down the drains.
So it's just like, know what they want. And like, the vibe just might be off one day for them. Like, they're people. Some days they're just like, no, I don't want to do this. That was the other thing I was going for, was no matter how early you think you are for ski lessons, you are not. You are not. Like, that chairlift takes a good 20 minutes plus to get them where they go. I mean, unless you're at Threadbow or somewhere where it starts bottom, great. Falls doesn't have that. I think Hotham, well, yeah, I mean, it's depending on your mountain. But again, it doesn't matter. If you know how long it takes you from where you are to that lesson, triple it. You need to go to the toilet. You need something to eat. Socks feel weird. You forgot something. Something happened. Something happens. It will. Like, I promise you. Like, we are the most seasoned snow parents. And I can tell you, whenever I take my kids to like ski school at Falls, it's not like Japan. We just like, we roll up and we're there. And like, we've got ready at home and we're good and everything's in the car. Like, somewhere between where we're staying and the chairlift at Falls, I don't know. A favorite fluffy friend is not with us and they've never come with us, but now they're not here and it's devastating and we cannot proceed without said stuffed friend. Or socks feel weird. That seems to be a theme in our family. Socks feel weird. Don't like the socks. Or I desperately need to go to the toilet, even though I didn't need to 30 seconds ago when you asked me. And just like, there's something.
There's always
So
something.
just like, allow extra time. If you get to like wherever you're going, I can pretty much guarantee you there's coffee or like some sort of morning beverage for parents that need to get through ski school drop off. There's something there for you. Just get the kid there, get them checked in and get there on time.
Yeah.
It'll alleviate a lot of stress.
Yes.
I think that's a massive one.
Yes. Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah. I think on mountain, it's just like, let go, have the moments that you want, but maybe the moment is just a photo that looks like you're having a good time. Absolute mentee beat. It might be the kid, it might be you, it might be just anyone around you, but just know that like there'll be those little moments that you will look back on and be
That's
like,
so funny you say that.
That was worth it despite the chaos.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I look back on our first trip with Charlie to the snow really fondly. Like, we took our firstborn child to the snow. It's like a happy place. We met in the snow. But I actually remember, because like I said, he was sick when we went to the snow. And he was a fucking nightmare. Like, he had meltdown. Like, of course, like, he wasn't very well, but he also was in this new place and it was cold and windy and whatever. And there was so many meltdowns and we spent a lot of time in the lodge, but I got lots of beautiful footage. And I remember someone saying, I saw your trip on Instagram. It looked amazing. And Andrew was like, don't be fooled. But I still look back on it so fondly. Like, it was the best weekend ever. Like, we had such a great time because I got all that beautiful footage of it. And I'm choosing to remember like the really beautiful moments.
The memories are still in there. Like, you haven't left them behind, but then you can separate them and be like, that's parenting. That's the journey of kids.
Yeah.
And in extreme elements such as the snow, especially if it's foreign to them. So it's like they go hand in hand where in the moment you're consumed by, wow, this is a lot harder than what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But you do, like, as much as they're in you've got those beautiful moments, and that's what life is remembering like those little things. And they look back, like Mahali is at an age now where when we go to bed we tell stories, but we also look back at photos and videos, and it's just like she loves those moments of being in the snow before she even remembers being alive. And you just it's beautiful for them as well as us, I think.
I have had quite a few people reach out to me and be like, oh, it's so awesome you take the kids to the snow, but too hard for me. Like, but it's like, your kid's going to be hard wherever you go. You're going to have hard moments wherever you go. But it's like, but when you're you're creating memories with them. Like, you've got to focus on the awesome things about it. Like, there are going to be heaps of shit moments, but there's going to be heaps of great moments too.
100%. It's like when we were in Vietnam last year, like, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was last year. Jossie was still at napping age. Long. But we were like, because it was so hot. And then I was like, well, same thing. Most of my kids have grown up in like extreme cold. Neither of them have dealt with hot particularly well because it's so foreign to them. And then you're also obviously like, much like I guess anybody going to the snow that's not used to it, is you don't have like, I mean, you can take them back to nap, but if you dedicate your entire day around their structured life, like, you're not going to enjoy your trip.
Yeah.
Like, you've kind of just got to let go of some stuff and like let them, and each to their own. Like, some people maybe like your kid might need to nap when they need to nap, kind of thing. I think you just got to loosen up a little bit and just let things go a little bit. And I think about us in Vietnam, and we're just like, well, logistically, if we're going to go and explore, I think we're in like Hoi An, we cannot do both. We can wake up and let the kids eat and do their things, and then we can go explore this town, or we can stay at the hotel and she can nap and we don't see the place we came to see. And she ended up like, I think I like jigged up a sarong over our like janky Aldi travel pram, and next thing I know I was like, she's asleep.
Yeah.
She's the sort of kid that's like, unless it's like premium conditions, she's not going to sleep.
They
It's
need the
too much
perfect
to
conditions.
see. It's
Yeah.
too much to do. She was out
Yeah.
because it was just like that. You forget as like a small child, they're taking in so much that's so foreign, and their brain is like processing all of that so much faster than what we do that you just have to roll with it. And was it perfect? Did she get the normal duration nap? Absolutely not. Was she a bit of a dick when she woke up? Absolutely. But you're just like, this is part and parcel of the journey, and her being able to look back and us being able to look back and go, we did something that was outside of all of our comfort zones. We did something different, but we saw different things, and they were exposed to something outside of their little cushy zone of comfort. And like, you just have to suck it up and go, like, this isn't forever. This is for 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 days.
Yeah.
And we'll go back to our normal. But
Yeah.
then think about all the things we have to talk about, reflect on, and
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think like, I think, whenever we've gone away, we've done quite a bit of travel with the kids, and it's like, if they miss their nap, what's the worst that's going to happen? They might be a bit grumpy. It's not going to last forever.
No.
It's going to be short-lived. We're relaxing. We've got nowhere to be. We don't have any work to do. Like, it doesn't matter. Yes, if they're a bit grumpy, they're going to go to bed at 6:30, 7:30, whatever, and then we can have a cocktail and like laugh about the day. Like, there's no stress. There's nowhere you need to be. So you need to like you have an opportunity to let go. Whereas in everyday life, things need to be more structured because you've got work and, commitments and responsibilities. And I think like the biggest thing for me getting to on like a bit of a deeper level is like going to the snow is like surrendering, like surrender to your kids just being who they are. And that's when you enjoy it, when you surrender to the whole situation.
Mhm.
Like you allow it to just be what it is. Like
it
your
will
kids,
be like, we're here. You just have to let
they
it
have a
go.
meltdown, and they're probably like, Charlie went through a stage where there'd be these huge meltdowns and it was horrendous at the time. But then you'd go and have a drink at the pub with your kid and have some hot chippies and whatever, and then they were happy again and it was
they'll be other
fun.
kids, and then they're like,
then they're
it's just
happy.
like they're having the best time, and they'll look back, and it's just like teaching them that, like, I think they also see us being like, here's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're literally like, we created this situation. We took you here knowing that it would probably be 70% unpleasant in some ways, sadly. But you're also prepping them for, like, we're going to do this again and again and again. And the older they get, they appreciate more and more how much of your time, your resources, your energy, and your like money it costs to do that. But then they're like, they get to reflect and go, like, Mahalia understands. She's like, she spoke Japanese. She can ski. And I'm like, she'll kind of get competitive with other kids at school. And then I'm like, can anyone else ski? She's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, you can ski.
You know how to
And those
ski,
little things, and it's just like, it's like the kids that grow up here surfing, and my kids do the same, that sort of thing. But it's just like, it's not a common denominator. Something really beautiful, and it's a great memory that as they get older and more like understanding of life, they'll be like, wow, that cannot, like Liam saying to us before, like, now I get why I didn't go to the snow when I was a kid. It's like all of the elements that go into it, but you just like, it's still creating memories.
And it's also you're like showing your kids, like putting your kids in situations where they're going to learn. They, like you said before, like building resilience. And it's not, even though it is really challenging, I don't feel like that should be a reason why you shouldn't do it. Like you go and it's challenging, but you're creating memories. You're teaching your children things. You're showing them a place that's magical, and they're going to learn to love. They're going to love it. Like like I said before, I hated the snow when I was younger because it was like I got too hot, then I got too cold, and then it was hard. But now I go to the snow and I feel like just a breath. Like I just feel like my whole body relaxes the minute I get there, and then my body tenses up the minute my kid has a meltdown. But like that they're going. Like Charlie now is at an age where he loves it, and he's like, "Can I go snowboarding? Can I go snowboarding?"
Yeah.
He'll wear his goggles, and like he hasn't done lessons yet, but like he knows how to go in a straight line, and like he naturally, intuitively knows how to like do heel side. He's on a snowboard. He's not skiing yet. He just like wants to snowboard. And like as a parent, like if you're hesitant on taking your kid to the snow because you feel like it's going to be too hard, it's going to be fucking hard. But it's also fucking hard to stay at home and not do anything and just sit around all day.
If you're flying anywhere more than 2 hours, like it's hard.
Yeah.
Like you're still packing the same. You're still doing, if you live where we do, you're still driving at least an hour to the airport.
Yeah.
You're getting on a plane, like everything, like it doesn't matter where you live. The journey from entering the airport is the same for everybody in terms of waiting times and everything. That journey on the plane, wherever you're going, is the same. So like, why not do all of those things? And they understand that, like, anywhere you want to go that's worthwhile, that's not within your comfort zone, take some sort of transition and change and adventure, and how you position it and treat it becomes part of their adventure and their experience.
Yeah.
If you're just like, like, no one loves going through security in an airport. No one loves a 5-hour drive to the snow.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't love it. I don't want to sit like thinking about your drive back from Omeo. Like, Austin's parents are in Adelaide, and we like have a rule now with the 2 kids. We absolutely don't do the drive in one go. We stop halfway, even though it costs us hundreds of dollars, because I'm like 8 hours in the car with kids
Too long.
and us. Like, someone wants to crawl out of the car. Like, it's just not a good time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, brace yourself, but be prepared. But it also teaches them that, like, good things
Sometimes might be difficult.
And I think it is, like, as you said, when you get there and you let it all go. I just remember doing seasons. My mum's like, I just remember here from it's like you live in a bubble. It's like, but I do live in this beautiful bubble where laundry isn't like a high on my list task. It's just something that has to be done, and it happens around me living my life instead of being like, oh, it's the weekend, kids aren't at school, one of the things I have to do is washing. So you're like, well, it's just something that has to happen around everything else, and it's not going to define my life and my existence. And I think for kids to go up there and see, like, people just so exhilarated by the environment and everything it has to offer. And obviously not everywhere ski in, ski out. I think about like Threadbow, like maybe once you're on the mountain, like there's no cars kind of thing. But it's like all of those complications of everyday life are gone. It's just navigating, moving around somewhere that's covered in snow and making the most of that, whether it's
being
snowman
outside,
or just touching the snow or tobogganing or skiing or snowboarding or whatever it may be, and trying something different. And
experiencing like that magic. And I think, like, as a parent, there's nothing more like taking your kids to the snow and being someone who's done many seasons and loves snowboarding. You kind of want to go snowboarding when you get to the snow, but like you can't always do it. We often can't do it with kids. But like I find that I actually get more joy out of seeing my kids have joy at the snow. Those, even if it's a tiny moment and they throw a snowball at somebody, or, you know, our Charlie like on a snowboard, and he just like it, nothing makes you happier. Like I love snowboarding. I love snowboarding. Like it is one of my favorite things to do. But like seeing my kids have fun in the snow is like the best. So all those shit moments where they're like having big meltdowns and stuff, like those like tiny little moments are worth it.
Like
everything.
they're emotional whether they're at home or they're at school or they're there. I think for them, like, it's just a moment in time. It's not connected. They're just literally like they have no inhibitions about letting out how they're feeling or what they're doing. Which is beautiful. But like just they're like, I guess like the things we were talking about before doing tonight is like, it's just you let go of the noise and you're just there. And like, especially for them, they can really embrace that, where they're like, they're just skiing down a mountain and they don't have that fear kind of complex that we develop as adults or as older like children of. There's no fear of consequence, which is terrifying in some ways. It's like our second children. It's just like, oh God. But also it's so beautiful. It's like, you know, I look back at this video of Oz and Marley going to Falls last year, and like he watches it now, and he was like, where is she? And she flew by him, and he was like, I didn't even know she was even close to me. And you're like, that she's just like, but she's not. He's thinking all the time about, where am I going? How fast am I going? Is someone near me? Where she's just like, I'm skiing
straight.
I've been taught to go straight and fast. And that's like, but she doesn't even think about that. Like, she goes straight and fast because that's what you're taught to do. And it's like the beauty and reflection of like the freedom of a child to be able to just go, do it, be yourself. Like, they're not unleashing anything. They're just doing it.
They're just doing it.
Which we can't do. And I just think that's like so beautiful to see and like have them experience that. And they do come back and you're like, how different is it? Like, you know, like for Mahalia, she didn't have that for a long time, where we walked around, there was snow on the road and bears, and you're like, this is not normal. Like it's not. But then she comes here and there's roads and you've got to watch for cars and all of those sorts of things. But now that like contrast of, she goes to the snow and she's like, this is this magical world, and it's built for kids. I mean, I'm sure everywhere around the world it really is, but like I think about everywhere I've gone, the States, like Japan, Europe, here, it's, you go to Falls, there's fireworks. I don't know if it's still a thing, but Pete Snow Dragon, and they have like, you know, outside certain accommodations, they've got like, you know, like beautiful lights on the snow. Like it's made for kids to have this incredible experience. And I just think like, even if your budget only allows 2 or 3 nights, just that experience
Yeah.
of going and doing something outside of the box is, despite all the traumas we've just had, be prepared. It is really worth it.
But like we said before, love children, but you're going to have difficult times, whether you're at home or whether you're at the snow or whether you're at the beach, or doesn't matter where you are. So like you may as well be doing it somewhere where you can also enjoy yourself as well.
Doing it that way also makes the harder times at home more digestible for everybody.
Yeah.
Because as you said, you can do hard things anywhere. So if you do hard things in this like foreign environment that took a lot of effort and energy to get to, but created beautiful memories, then those hard things at home, it's just like, well, whatever. Like this is just part of our day, and it will evolve and it will change, and they'll get older and it'll get easier and harder in different ways. But by doing it in the snow, you're just kind of like, well, yeah, this was adding clothing and all of the different things on top of it. The things at home, you're like, hey, well, this is, like, you didn't have to dress them in 47 layers to go outside. So it's like, maybe it's a little bit easier.
You go to the snow every weekend, the weeks are easier.
Yes, you just got to have a bath. It's not that hard. Like, it's just really, it's not like we're not putting on ski socks, layers. We've got a cupboard full of food that we like.
Everything.
I think I'm going to look through my notes, and I feel like I think we've covered most of the things. The other things that I wanted to cover was on the whole spew journey was a fabulous thing is our neighbour, paramedic, but a great tip he gave us is I cannot even remember, let alone pronounce the word, but it's like the hospital spew bags that they have in like ambulances and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just got like the plastic thing with the bag and the twisting. Buy those, have them in your car for snow. Because you can go anywhere. If you've got kids, just have them in the car. Have a few of them. Might Jossie likes to wear them as boots around the house. Hours of entertainment. But also in the car is you can just like, instead of spew bags, you can just like, and you just, off you go.
Great.
Thing. It's like, here, have some of these. And it's like, thank you very much. Okay. Yes, thank you. We've got them everywhere now. Oh, and backseat, the iPad thing, if you're a screen parent, Kmart, I think they're like, I'm not going to quote a price, but they're under $10. But they've got little things that fit in between like your headrest, and you can put a phone or an iPad in it.
Yeah.
The kids aren't like touching. They're always touching.
Oh, yeah.
Where's it gone? It's gone. I've since learnt to like lock the screen so they can't do that. But also,
how do you do that?
Okay, great. Little like screen locks and stuff, but you can put it on there, and then it's like they can't out in like Oz's car, they can't actually physically reach it. So that's a thing. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
What do we have? Practice the clothes. We've done that. Take food. Killers. Talk them through what to expect. Book dinners. Phone number. This is a good one. I learnt this in Japan. Have your phone number on your child somewhere.
Okay.
Whether it's at ski school. Ski school, they've got your number, but if they're old enough, like Mahalia can ski by herself now, and God knows where she's going to go. And Jossie probably end up backcountry somewhere before I know it. So
you'll just see her riffing down.
so I've heard people say like on skin, but that can go is get like a Sharpie and some sort of tape that can't come off them, either internal or external, and have one of your whoever's going to answer the phone. In my case, it's me, not my husband. Have it on them.
Yeah.
Lost child, they'll just call you.
Yeah, great.
That was a hot tip.
Great
I was
tip.
like, I know it's not just there. I've done it like water parks and stuff as well. It's like, have your phone number. I think ski resorts are more equipped for that sort of
I feel
thing.
like just general life. Get a tattoo with your phone number on them.
Maybe we're onto a new business idea.
Great. Little like.
And that was the other thing I think on the like tangent of like spending. Yes, it's expensive. Like just going to the snow is expensive, but so is going to Bali. So is going to like Queensland and like all of the things. It's expensive, but you have to prepare yourself for that. But I think about Falls and Hotham is and Threadbow, a pair of share anyway, ski tube, all of those sorts of things, pay for it. Like you think I can save some money on this. Don't do that. Do not do that. I think about like a very well-seasoned Falls Creek person. Once you have driven up that hill and you've unpacked your car, I can promise you, if you're staying near Summit, my friend, your bags, your food, your kids, your things, you're looking at a 4-hour journey back and forth, getting all of the things up there. The oversnow, like I don't even know what it costs, but if it's $100 or something for the whole family in your bags, pay for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Pay for it. Pre-trip you will be like, that is a lot of money. You arriving at your accommodation will be like,
recently,
I'll never think about that money ever again.
Yeah.
It's well spent.
When we went to Hotham for opening weekend, there was no snow when we got there, but we knew there was a big weekend of snow past, and we were staying at Brush, which is in Hotham Village, and you can't drive down to Brush if there's snow. but we were able to drive there because there was no snow. We're like, thank God, we've got like a whole house full of stuff, like literally a ute full of clothing, everything.
All
So
of the
multiple
things, yeah.
bags and whatever. And we're like, that's so great. And we didn't think about the fact that we were going to have to trek back out of there again. Not me, because I stayed with the kids. But poor Andrew had to do like 3 trips. And the day before, we were like, oh, let's organise a skidoo to take our stuff up there and whatever. And they were completely booked out. So they had to do like 3 trips up the hill with like all these bags, dragging them up, back down again, back, like, you know. And it was like, we should have just organised that. You'd think that we would have thought about that beforehand, but we.
And several days with kids, like your boots, no gum boots, thing. They're not insulated.
In the top.
Yeah, and they're cold. Like,
Yeah.
you need to, like, if you don't have boots and you don't need to buy them, rent them. Food, we know of that. Pocket snacks. Sorry, I'm going to repeat it again. Pocket snacks.
Pocket snacks.
Pocket snacks.
Pocket snacks.
In your pockets and their pockets. If they have a onesie, a jacket, anything, if it's made for kids, they've got pockets. They have all of the pockets. Put every sort of snack you can imagine, like scroggin and lollipops. Just everything in between, have snacks. Because, like, they won't regret it. You won't regret it. Have all of the snacks.
Yeah.
Babysitter done, childcare, ski school, meltdowns. Be prepared for meltdowns because they will happen. I feel like I think we've covered it all, but like, just embrace it.
Yeah.
And just do it. And good times come out of hard things. Like, it's just, they will have the best memories. You will have the best memories. We'll all compartmentalize the trauma, the meltdowns, but it's no different to being home though. The meltdowns are the same as being here. They're going to happen anyway. And it's just out of like processing good times. The memories that they'll have from that are fabulous, I think.
Exactly. Like I said before, it's like, you've just got to go with the flow. Like, that's, if you want to have fun, go with the flow. Don't have any expectations. Just enjoy it, or don't enjoy it because some parts will be hard, but that's just how it is. And you're creating memories. Like, you're teaching them about, different ways to live and different ways to do things. And it's so valuable.
And seeing how like people do live. Like, this is how people live.
Yeah.
Like, not just here, but around the world. Like, some people, this is their life. It snows in winter.
Yeah.
This is what they do every single day to just live.
Yeah. And we're going to the snow. Some people this is
like,
how
they just live in snow.
Yeah.
Don't get to go do the fun parts kind of thing. And it's just like getting to understand that this is what people do and it's a part of life I think it's so character building. But I think, like, obviously we have unique kind of stories of them understanding how like we came to be and why we are where we are in life and how we have our families and our children. But for those who've never been to snow before, just I think about all of the people when I've worked in the snow, whether it's in Japan or the US or falls, and just that like delight and just energy of the first time they've been to the snow. It's like exhilarating.
Yeah.
And it would light up my day seeing you forget, because that's your day in, day out of that like incredible experience of it's the first time I've ever seen snow. It's the first time I've ever walked on snow. I've like, it's just incredible. And I think that like our kids are experiencing that, even though we don't realize that. Like,
it's a magical place.
Yeah.
It's like, the minute you hit the snow, I feel like your whole body just like exhales.
It does,
It's just amazing. And like, they're kids. They're going to have like big meltdowns, but they're also going to absolutely love it and grow up to love it as well, which is awesome.
And I think like it could open a chapter to their life, or it might be something that's not for them, but you've shown them something that's like, that brings you closer as a family. And it's worth doing, I think. Like, no matter how hard and extreme and expensive it feels, it's such a like rewarding, like grouping kind of experience.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Awesome.
This lip balm has changed my life. The first half of the podcast, I was licking my lips like nonstop.
So that's us. Hope you've enjoyed our parent brain,
our
waffle tips weaved in with forgetting what we're talking about, and
therapy session.
Trauma dumping, processing, whatever else.
No, it's been so nice to chat about it. And
thank you for coming to hang. I think it's good. I think we do, those of us that have lived in the snow, take it for granted because it's just ingrained in who we are and part of just life. It's like, you go to the snow, you do it, you just deal with it. But it excites me for other people to even be thinking about going, because I didn't grow up in a family, like my mum's from New Zealand and has seen the snow once. Like I didn't grow up in a snow family. But I discovered my love of it randomly, and for my kids to have the opportunity to decide whether that is or is not for them is pretty special, to be able to offer that to them.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. Yeah. And I feel like if you're considering it, do it, give it a go. even just once. If it's not for you, that's fine.
Maybe try it again when the kids are a little bit older.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're very
Depending
young, it
on-
wasn't for you, maybe try again. Maybe then if it's not for you, then
When
maybe it's not.
between like 2 and 4, maybe it might be difficult, but
Yeah.
try again after that. But yeah, it's awesome. Like we've said, it's like character building, and it's just the most magical place.
It is, especially when it snows. And I think Australia does have that really classic, amazing contrast of snowy days, generally windy, snowy days, but then also bluebird, incredible. And like they can have movie days and watch it snow.
Yeah.
But then they can go out and enjoy it in the sun, and that's pretty special.
And can I just say one last thing?
Yeah.
Australian snow can actually be really good.
We do have snow in Australia. I've had several power days in Australia. Don't expect to have a power day when you have children.
But Australian snow can be really amazing. It can also be not amazing, but there's still snow there, and your kids are going to have fun. They're going to throw snowballs, do snow angels, at least
And
ski or snowboard.
they don't know as well. It's snow. It's frozen. It's wet.
Yeah.
It's like
They're
I'm
gonna
going to have. Don't eat yellow snow. Don't eat yellow snow. But yeah, they're gonna have the best time, and it lays the foundations for the ability to go, obviously, to places like Japan or Canada or the US or Europe or whatever.
Yeah.
Then obviously further their, international experience of different cultures, but be familiar with an extreme environment like the snow as well.
Yeah, love it. So good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Sorry it took 3 hours longer than I said it would.